I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and this is the second part of my heritage video. So, I'm gonna drop the mic on you guys a minute. So, if you were watching the other videos, I was explaining about my heritage and how my Korean friend woke me up to the reality of Native Americans being Asian and stuff. And then, everything started falling into place for me. I was like, oh, no wonder why I get that. Okay, cool. And maybe that be why I get along better with Asian people, because technically they might think I'm a dust child. Anyway, so moving on. This leads to another story that happened before I met in Kwan Kim. I was in college, and I was going to do this report about Japan. And there was another Asian girl in the class. And I talked to the teacher first before I did my report. And I was like, dude, um, I need to speak to you before I do this report. And he's like, why is that? I said, because, one, there's more than one Asian person in the class. And two, I don't want to offend anyone. So I like to go talk to them before I do the report, because people are hypersensitive when it comes to ethnicity and races. And when you're going to talk about their race directly in front of them, you should be concerned or considerate of how it's going to make them feel. You know, America is not a saint by any means. And though I will die for this country because I took the oath of service, you know, I still don't want to offend anybody, even though America hasn't washed its hands completely of its sins against its own people, which would be the Native Americans, and things like that. And as a vet, we hopefully will get everything that we have coming towards us. Alright, so I go to class, and I speak to the young lady. And she's Mexican, but she looks like she's fucking from Korea. And I already spoke to the Chinese guy because he wanted me to do the report. And I was like, yo, dude, I forgot his name. I think it was like Fong or something. So I talked to him. I was like, look, I got to say some things about Japan that I really don't want to say in front of y'all. Say, hey, man, I'm from China. Fuck Japan. So I was like, oh, okay. Me trying not to be racist. It's like, oh, well, that was, it just like was a slap in the face. So I talked to her. She goes, you can do your report. You say what you want. You look more Chinese than I do. I was like, aren't you from China? She's like, fuck no, I'm Mexican. I was like, oh, okay. So then I went back and talked to the teacher, and I got to do a Sabatu demonstration and everything, and explain to everybody about Japan and occupation and how they woke us up. And it was a good report. I got a B on it. It's like the first B I ever got in college. Probably was the last B I was ever going to get because of the next year things that were just going to go to hell in a handbasket. But anyway, the long and short was, I don't like to offend people, but when it comes to like ethnic heritages and shit, people get extremely sensitive. I am number one with a bullet with that because and I've said this before, when I was 16 or 15, 16, somewhere when I started working at Kegler's, for 3 years I put up with a dude calling me Chief. Like every weekend. My name was on my chest, but this guy would not fucking stop calling me Chief. And it pissed me off to the highest point of festivity. And the worst part is that I couldn't do anything about it. Because here I am. I'm a 16-year-old kid. I got a grown man talking to me any damn way that he wants to. And I can't afford to lose my job. So every weekend it was, hey, Chief. How's it going, Chief? What's up, Chief? And I got so sick and tired. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to tell this guy. My damn name is James. And I would really appreciate if you stop calling me Chief. And this is about the same time the movie Renegades came out. But I got tired of being ethnically uncleansed. And I mean, he would constantly call me Chief. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know if my ancestors came from a fucking chief. Because both of my Native American ancestors were female. So I don't know what their dads were. But I know they're female. My dad's mom was full-blooded Cherokee. Her mom was full-blooded Cherokee. She has a brother named John. I don't know if he's still alive, but Ada's long gone, and if John's still alive, he's got to be pushing like about 100 by now, maybe 2. So, it's kind of hard to say, and I don't want to offend that side of my family, because we haven't met. But it's just the principle of the thing that this guy just refused to respect me and stop calling me fucking chief. Then years later, when I would go to like one of the Burger Kings that my sister was working at, I met up with this young white kid, and I don't know his name. And the first damn thing he said when he saw me when I came to pick up my sister, he goes, "You're some kind of Indian, aren't you?" And I had no idea how to take that, so all I could say was, "Yes, I'm part Cherokee." He said, "You look like you're all Cherokee." It's like, "No, dude, I'm black too." He's like, "Yeah, sure, you're black. You just don't want to be Cherokee." It's like, "No, I would love to be full-blooded Cherokee. It's just not an option. You know, I am what I am. My heritage is important to me because it's who I am. Now, I'm not going around saying that I'm Hiawatha. I'm not going around saying that I'm Great Wolf because they have done great things for the Native American community. Now, if I have to say anybody, I would prefer to be Coyote the Trickster because then I'd be a legend, you know. But in the same breath, you know, there's a thin line with racial respect, and we all walk it every day. You know, and I tell people, you know, I don't like the word nigger, I don't like the word chief, and I don't like the word honky, and I'm the combo of the three. And I was like, so I could be a chief, honky, nigger. Well, at least I still get to be Native American first, but that doesn't really work for me because I don't like racial slurs or anything like that. And you know, I've had I've been called damn near everything under the book anyway. You know, the only thing I haven't been called was mutt, and I can live with being called a mutt because hell, I'm technically a walking two-legged mutt because I am Native American, I'm black, and I am white, and I specifically prefer to say it in that order. All right, and that's only because I can't spell the word indigenous. So you know, when you're thinking about things and when you're talking to people, you know, you're like, okay, so how do you speak to people without racially offending them? It's real easy. Don't talk about their race. Or before you go into a room, you know, scan the room. My thing about this, you know, because of my heritage and because I don't have the opportunity to embrace all of my heritages at the same time, this will be a little bit offensive. So if you want to stop watching, now's the time. I will never, ever, ever, as long as I'm breathing, be able to say that I am a white man. I respect the white man and I love the white man, just like I love the black man and I love the Native American man or the Asian man or whatever. Nothing but respect for everybody. But when it comes to the cultural divide, if you don't have white people in your family, like directly in your family, you can't really relate to where they're coming from. And I met many of people who are raising mixed children. The guy that fixed my car, he was telling me how his grandson is mixed, and his grandson thinks that he's entitled to things because of the slavery and oppression and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know, when he said that to me, it was the first time I've ever heard a kid say stuff like that. It's like, well, I've never thought I was entitled to anything because I'm partially Native American, and the government says they're gonna do this or they're gonna do that, and no one really honors their word a lot in our world. You know, they don't really keep what they say, and their word is not bond. So I try to make sure that mine is. So if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm going to fucking do it, or I'm going to die trying. You know, and they make cell phones and telephones for a reason, so that if you can't, or if you're gonna be late, you can always call somebody and let them know, look, I can't do it because this stuff's come up, or something has come up, and I have to do this, which is cool because you're honest about it. Where you know, as I said, you know, I've gone to places where I've tried to tell people that I'm black, and they're like, "No, you're not black." I'm like, "What the hell gives you the balls to tell me I'm not black? I know what fucking color I am." And they're just like, "Well, you don't look black." And I was like, "So for years as a kid, I've had to prove my blackness, and then once I embraced my Native American side, you know, it wasn't that much to prove." And then the thing about that was that you know there have only been rare occasions where I have been proud to be black. And then there have been really, really bad occasions where I've been ashamed to be black. The DC sniper ruined it for all of us black people. And we just got off the top of the chopping block because of 9/11, and this dickhead started shooting up people. And he didn't give a damn if he shot black people or white people. He just wanted to shoot people. And he tricked some little dumbass kid to follow behind him. You see where I'm going with that? And when you cut on the news, if you're a black person, this is the part where you cut the volume on your video here up. There's not a black person in this world that's not caught on the news one time unless they're not like born here. If they're like African and they immigrated over here, they believe that they don't have to relate to the black community. Well, guess what? I'm sorry. Yeah, you do. But when a black person does something over here and they're a black American, not an African American, but they were born here, they're black, they're not African. When they do something that shames us as a unit of people, it reflects us as a unit of people. So when you go to a store, if somebody black did something to someone else's family member, they're not going to not look at you with discontent and hostile eyes. They're going to look at you just like you're that asshole that fucked up somebody in their family. Now, whether you did it or not, they're still going to have that discontent feeling towards you. And you're going to have to deal with that, because I have to deal with it all the time. When black people do stupid shit, me and the 10,000 other black people say the same damn thing when we cut on the news. Please, God, don't let him be black. We don't give a damn if he's white. We don't give a damn if he's Asian. We don't give a damn if he's a blue alien from outer space. All we care about is don't let him be black. Because the first thing that he does that fucks it up for everybody. If I may quote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm going to, whether you guys like it or not, because this was a live quote that he said, what does not affect us directly will affect us indirectly on some level or another. Or was the saying, what does not affect us indirectly will affect us directly on some level or another. You guys know the drill. Look the quote up. So, when I embrace my heritage, because most of my family members, they just embrace the black part. They don't embrace the other two parts, where I embrace all three. And I do mostly embrace the Native American part. I'm not going to lie about it. I just feel like that's who I want to be. And, out of respect for my dead grandmothers and the one that I still have that's alive, if I'm going to be the only one that carries the Native American torch while everybody else carries the black torch, hey, so be it. I'm going to close out because I want to do another video on something more important to me and not important to y'all. There's a time and a place for everything. There was never a time and a place to be a racist. Alright? Now, there's a difference between being a racist and being prejudiced. We all, including myself, have or has had or has even said some prejudice fucking shit. So therefore, if you deny this, you're lying to yourself. I've done prejudice shit. I've said prejudice shit. Maybe out of anger, maybe out of some deep-rooted, consented shit that has been taught to me by society. But I have said it. My parents did not raise a racist. But that doesn't mean I can't be prejudiced. And you have to know the difference before you open up your mouth. Because if some white guy gets the job, and he deserves the job, and he's earned the job, and he's gone through class, you can't under your breath say, oh, that white motherfucker got the job. That's being prejudiced and racist. Now, if the handicapped guy gets the job and you don't get the job, and you go, oh, they gave the job to that handicapped SOB because he was handicapped, that's prejudiced. Alright? See, that doesn't have anything to do with his race. This has something to do with something that he can't fix. So you have to know the difference. And a lot of people don't. So here's my advice before I end this video. Be kind to each other. Accept each other for their flaws and their differences. And maybe, just maybe, before I die, we may be able to cure racism and prejudice. Because all we have in this world is each other. So if you guys don't want to help each other out and try to understand everybody, we're all going to fry. Simple as that. We're all going to fry. Slowly but surely, we're going to fry. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Happy number 2. Be seeing you.